Welcome back to part 2 in the series on air raiders and everything about them. 1987 Hasbro line that was sadly cut short. Today we're talking about the ground vehicles, staples for the two sides, for the air raiders and the Tyrants of the Wind. We have the Dragonwind and we have the Thunderhammer. The Thunderhammer here is one of the two large vehicles that I had as a kid, and it had a pretty wild design. I think it inspired my sci-fi leanings quite a bit. But it had that really strong, organic, sliced up feel to it that just kind of was in keeping a little bit with the landscape of Airlandia, or at least the images that I saw. But it's a pretty nice little vehicle here, if the air pump works properly for you. This one, the seal around the plunger there is pretty dry, so we're not going to get much action out of it today, but I'll show you what the functions are and we'll see what we can do. So when you depress that plunger there, it sends air directly to the place where it's directed. Nice. So currently it is pointed towards the hammer itself, that front cockpit section, but nothing's going there. This is our pilot. Pretty decent outfit. I've got a couple of these folks, so I've got an extra pilot here and a couple extra of the Air Raiders regulars on hand. I believe this one came with the pilot and 2 additional figures. When we take a look at the instructions here in a second, it actually says the complete contents of the box. But I'm going to remove these cats here for a moment so that we can get a good view all around of this machine, because it's got some interesting stuff going on here on the undercarriage. We have the rack tying the 2 skids together, which of course are rock propelled, but the connection points there, you can see these little clips which are prone to breaking, and most of us wanted to keep the boxes and break our air raider stuff back down and put it in the box and stow it away, but unfortunately these things don't reverse that well, and sometimes you get some breakage. But it's got a little bit of almost a handle here at the bottom that you can grasp onto and use it to launch things that way, kind of turning it into a gun. And our other vehicle we're looking at has something similar as well, but it's really just kind of a vestige of the same notion. The missile rack at the bottom I always thought was really nice, because it's one of the few that really holds them in place well, and they don't just drop off when you take a corner. You have to deliberately remove those. Now we've got 4 additional small guns here, as well as the gun that's on the turret on top, which is more of an observation post, I guess. But because it is a plunger, you can change the height on it, which is kind of nice. But the profile of this vehicle, it makes it look pretty quick for the size that it is, and the speeds that these things can achieve is listed on the little factoids on the back of the box. Are pretty ridiculous. I'll go over all of that in a video later down the line here, but there's a successful missile launch and kind of a really trying to get that hammer to extend. So we got some stickers here to put on as well, because this one was new, but the box was a bit moldy, so I tossed the box because health concerns. But the pieces inside were sealed. These are the instructions here. Pretty explanatory, and a sticker guide there at the bottom. The reverse side talks about the Lords of the Wind, so it talks about 4 of the Plutarchs, I guess you would say, of Airlandia. Now we've got one of the vehicles that has really grown on me lately. It's a sled. It's a It can also apparently fly. It's a tank. It's a futuristic thingy. It's kind of wild with the colors there. You know, you got purple, magenta, neon green, and gray and black. You know, because you gotta ground it in something. But yeah, this is just a wild machine, and it's plagued by some issues with the tubing and whatnot. But the overall design of this thing is pretty wild. It's very heavy, yet appears, you know, sleek and fast at the same time. You know, they do that with a couple of these vehicles here in this line. You know, it's just like they strike this nice balance with the form and the function. The cockpit here lifts up, and you've got 2 characters inside. The little guns that are attached to the canopy are easy to lose. I've had to actually get a replacement canopy for one of them. Get some more guns. I've had enough of the missiles on hand to totally populate these. Didn't intend to get 3 Dragonwinds, but you know, when you pick up another one to get parts for another one, and you just happen to have extra parts laying around, well, all of a sudden these things start to multiply, don't they? There's a little engine actually inside there, which is a separate piece that can be removed if you go through and unscrew this beast. I saw one listed on eBay. It's very strange. These turrets, one of the things you'll notice if you're looking at them used, the flared tips there at the end can get bent, and so you can see white stress marks on those. They are not tough to bend back into place and keep them there, but the worst thing here is that pinch. Leading from your main air chamber to your air distribution switch, and that just really hampers the entire process and, you know, cuts off potential, you know, air power. So we've got 3 launching points on this bad boy. 2 of the center missiles down below launch, and then center one on top, which is directional, which carries the glider. And the glider is so fragile. It's like this little printed styrofoam thing. And I have 3 here because that's all I was able to find, really. And none of them are 100%. They've all got, you know, like a crease here, or they've been folded over so many times, like a piece is, you know, snapped off. It's just very kindergarten how these things were created. But I think, you know, this is just mostly to keep down on weight, which I understand. I totally get that. But at the same time, it's just strange. And then getting it to actually launch here, I can't tell you how many attempts that went through. You can see my fingers jubilant. Going back over here to the missiles. And the thing is, like with all these aerator things, especially if you don't use them for a while, sometimes like the missiles can stick, so you have to, you know, just kind of remove them, put them back on again, very lightly, and then they generally will go. If not, check your airlines. Here are the sheets for the Dragonwind, and this one's a little unique. So we have your sticker instructions, and honestly, I don't have any good stickers for the Dragonwind. But on the reverse side here, we have the same instructions in French, and it's referred to as the Dragonair, which actually isn't bad, but if you get the Canadian version, you get 2 sets of languages inside, and they go full bore on these. So pause that if you want to read about the cities of Erlandia. We're going to talk about it later on that line, though. But this is going to be the next video. We're going to talk about the Command Outpost and the 4 smaller vehicles that you have for the line. So come back for that.